Happy Tuesday morning. I was running late. I warmed up my coffee because, I have to do that sometimes, very often. And I forgot it in the microwave. And it was on my way to coming here to do the live. And I had to reheat the coffee again. So, story of my life. Forgetting that I reheat my coffee and then have to do it again because it's too cold. How is everybody? So, hey, Darren. How are you? Doing great. It's sunny. It is chilly, but I'm doing good. Hello, Annie. So this morning, I can stay about 30 minutes to about an hour. My list of stuff to do is so crazy. And I want to make sure that in that craziness, I actually have time to breathe and enjoy simple things like coffee. Maybe have a chit chat with my chickens. Because I do talk to my chickens. Yes, I know. It does sound crazy. I picture myself being watched sometimes by my neighbors. And they go who is she talking to? Is she crazy? Is she really talking to her animals? Who talks here? I know there's one person here. Who talks to their animals? I know Darren does. So Darren from Thorhaven Farm has a series of cow jokes on is it Darren, are you here? Is it on YouTube or TikTok or both? I think it's both. It's YouTube. You have cow jokes. You talk to them, and they seem to be doing good. Oh, so you talk to your chickens and your animals. Good. I actually talk to my plants. Okay. Well, I wasn't prepared this morning because, I was running late. So I normally do shout outs on Tuesdays to share the love. And so Darren has a series of cow jokes. And I'm serious. If you're having a bad morning or a bad afternoon or bad whatever, bad moment, go watch those jokes. They're very funny. Well, you're probably bothering them. If you want, you can share your playlist. Unless I can go catch it. Let me see if I can go get it. Because I'm trying to do this on Tuesdays to share the love and give some shout outs. So, let me see. Do you have a playlist with your jokes? Yes, you do. Awesome. Can I share this? Hold on. Is it having a hard time this morning? No, you don't. Is that all of your Highland? No, let me do that instead. Darren, I'm looking. Do you have a playlist? I'm looking. I see that you have a playlist of your cows, but I'm wondering if your jokes are on there. Okay, so I'm seeing. Okay, we have a couple. So, oh yeah. Okay, so I'll do that. So I'm going to copy that. Can I share this entire playlist? Okay. How do I do that? Why am I not able to share it? No, that's not what I want. Okay, so I'm just going to share the video because It's not letting me share. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just do one short and then you guys can go check the rest. Hold on. I'm getting there. How do I share this? Okay, got it. I finally got it. Okay, so I'm there. So that's the latest one. If you want to have a good time, go watch a couple of those shorts. I saw, oh, good morning. I'm guessing Desmond is here. Oh, there it is. Desmond. Sometime the only one. Actually, I think part of the reason why I talk to my animals is like, one, they don't talk back to me. They don't have attitude. Well, some of them do. Some of the chickens give me attitude, but like it's funny. And they're always happy to see me. Always. Is it because I bring food? I don't know. But they always seem to be very happy to see me. Really? What'd you do? Hello? That's Thomas, right? What did you guys do? Oh, sure. Blame the dude who feels like he has a hangover and wasn't drinking. Okay, so I did that. I shared one link of your shorts. Okay, so I'm multitasking this morning. So I decided I had so many things to do, and I promised you to come live. So I want to talk about carrots. I cannot seem, if there's a couple of things I can't grow, carrots being one of them, cabbages being another, potatoes, can't seem to grow them. I'm not growing them this year unless I'm going to have like 4 grow bags and it's going to be a last minute decision. I'm retrying this year, what do you call them? Sweet potatoes. I haven't really decided if I was going to do them in grow bags, 25 gallons, 30 gallons, or I have those 55 gallons that I split in 2. I might feel that with rabbit manure, compost, soil, seed soil mix, and like mix all of that and maybe like I have 2 varieties of sweet potatoes. I might do that. I don't know. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with my sweet potatoes, but still can't grow those. They don't, like, they do like small tubers, nothing interesting, and they don't store very long. So carrots, cabbages, potatoes, sweet potatoes. What else do I have? Melons. Melons, if I have small melons, they seem to do nice, but it's because of pests, not because of like lack of knowledge. Elisa has potatoes, carrot, broccoli, tomatoes, corn, beans, and peas going in the greenhouse. Already had a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, that's cool. I'm sowing soon. I have like, my last sowing session is going to be intense. So I'm starting to acclimate my onions because they seem to have a hard time inside. So this weekend I utilized the temperature that it was like foggy, not sunny, and I put them on my deck and they kind of bumped right back up. The green, it was like lime green a little bit, even though I fertilized them. I put them in the rain and they came right back the right color. So they're back on track and I'm going to start acclimating them soon to direct sun. And I lost my cabbages and I re-sowed 50 plug tray of that. And that is also outside. I'm not going to put them under lights. I sowed beets in little soil blockers, these big. So I sowed 1 seed per, and I'm going to just transplant a little seedling in that. But that's staying outside. It's not going to be under the light because they kind of stretch, and then I have a bag result. So last year for carrots, I tried a trick from Mallory. at the time on Quebec Homestead. Now it's her Eco Life. And it was cornstarch. It started off beautiful. So cornstarch and water. You take your carrot seeds, you put them in water for, I can't remember how long, I think it's 24 hours, and then you make a cornstarch in water solution, and then you let it cool off, you dump your seeds, and you prepare your beds. I did that. It was amazing. I had perfect rows of carrots. They were doing great. So I did that, I think, just before the conference. I think it was the week before the conference or the week after the conference. No, it's probably before, because I smashed my fingers last year after the conference. So it's probably before. And then I had a drought and I was no longer allowed to water. So young carrot seedlings need water. So I had to sacrifice them. And then I had 10 rows of carrots, I think, last year. And I think I only harvested 3 or 4, and they were like really small. So I'm trying something different. I'm going to do half with cornstarch, but later, maybe a little later. Probably like the week after the conference. So the day that I come back of the conference or the day after, I'm probably going to soak the seeds and do the cornstarch again. But I'm trying something different that I tried in the fall of last year. And this is where I'm going to need your tips, because after that, I have no idea what to do. So I'm going to soak 2 seeds per little. This is called a soil blocker, and this is the mini. So let me see if I can show you what I have going on. So before the live, I prepared a 10 by 20 tray that has 260 blocks. So 1 cube or rectangle is 20 little blocks. And I'm going to try that. I'm going to show you what I'm working with today. We got lettuce, tomatoes, bell peppers seeded in the greenhouse. The lettuce is coming up. Also, our other stuff is coming back: asparagus, chives, etc. Nice. I have 3 mature plants this year that are 7 years old. I had to transplant them yesterday, so I had to remove them from a rotten, destroyed raised bed, and I put them into a new location. So I hope that they're going to do great, because those are my oldest that I started from seeds the first spring of 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. So they're 6 years old. Technically, they should produce, like last year I had a couple of asparagus from them and I let them go to seeds for that. This year I can harvest asparagus because I really enjoy asparagus. So my plan for the carrots this year, spring, I'm not going to sow any storage varieties. So this year I'm going with 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And like for like raw eating, to add if I want to do coleslaw. My 2 favorite ones for snacking are the Parisian and the ox heart. So it's a little bit bigger than the Parisian, but these I can cut them in half and steam them in the summer. And then I just went with conventional. I went with yellow, purple, and atomic red. And I like these ones. Nantes, Scarlet Nantes. I hope this is how I say it. So those are the ones that I'm sowing now. So for storage, I'm going with a different variety. I think it's Bolero. And those are pelleted. And those are the one that gave me the idea of starting them from seeds like that in a little tray. So I know most of you guys are at work and maybe won't be able to answer me. But seriously, if you have tricks for me for carrots, please give them to me. Because I would love to grow my carrots and store them. So if you haven't seen what a carrot seed looks like, it's pretty small. I don't even know if the camera's going to be able to pick it up. It's like really, really small. right here. It's tiny, tiny. So I'm going to sow 2 little seeds per little block. Cover it with a loose potting soil mix seed starting mix that I have. And then I'm going to put them outside. So technically, I start sowing seeds of carrots around the end of the month. So the goal is to get them to germinate and then transplant them. But the benefit of having the little soil blockers is that they're going to be air pruned. So they're not going to be root bound. It's not going to be a problem. I did this trick last year and I was able to harvest some small carrots out of it. This is why I'm trying it again this year. So when you read about carrots, you're not supposed to start them like I'm doing now, because you're going to get like carrots that are going to be root bound. But because these are going to be air pruned, I know it's not going to be a problem, but you need to transplant them kind of like 1 or 2 weeks after they germinate. We grow ours almost in complete sand. We tried storing them in sand as well as with damp shaving. Neither work for us. Okay. So I guess you're exactly where I am. You're looking for a solution. I know you have sandy soil. If you have the budget, maybe look into grow bags. There is like 30-gallon bags. So from what I'm understanding, if you want storage carrots, I think it's 4 inches apart. If you want like summer carrots, it's 2 inches apart. So in a grow bag that is 22 by 22, you could put a lot of carrots in that. And like not have that sand thing going on. What do you think? I have heavy clay soil. That's why I have raised beds. And that's why it's taken me so long to establish a good quality soil in my in-ground garden. I had such a hard time. So the reason why I'm going with 2 seeds, one, it's because it's easier. And I'm going to transplant this. I have to relook at my notes. I think it's 2 inches apart for summer carrots. So you're supposed to thin them to 2 inches apart. So I think I'm going to transplant these every 4 inch so that the 2 carrots can have enough space to do its thing. Where did I put? Okay, there it is. Solution this year is growing some for eating and then buying the deer carrots for canning. Yeah, I did that last year. I bought at Maxi year round. You have something called ugly carrots, ugly zucchini, ugly peppers. I buy those during off season and high season as well. But deer carrots are way cheaper. I'm thinking about making a cellar kind of deal in the side hill, probably 6 by. That would be nice. And a nice thing to film. We were thinking about digging a hole on the side of the house and creating a door, because we have what's it called in English? It's not a basement we have. It's not a crawl space, because crawl space you have to be on your stomach. It's 4 feet tall. So it's a storage area, but it's not, there's no concrete slab. It's on rocks for us. So we were thinking to condemn one of the windows because there's a crack that's starting to present itself. So we wanted to like deal with the problem and create a solution for us to dig a hole and then do either stone concrete walls and then do a 30, I think it was a 34-inch door, so that we can, there's like, we wanted to put our freezers downstairs instead of on our decks. And we have two freezers in Fred's office, and his office is like so squish. I would love to have my two chest freezers downstairs, like right at the bottom of the stairs. But we condemn part of the stairs for my mason jars. So I think the door to go downstairs is 30 inches, and it's 30 inches all the way down. So to bring down the chest freezers, we would probably lose a couple of inches of skin all over the place on our hands. We would have to like drop it with slings and like hope for the best. It would be possible. But if we would open the side of the foundation, remove the window, fix the crack, and others if we find some, and then remove the window, put a door, and the 34 inches wide door would mean I could take the freezers, bring them downstairs, and if ever we move, we can leave it from there. We have one neighbor that has that set up, but we started researching how much it would cost just to rent the equipment for the weekend, because it is a weekend job. At the time, that was before the craziness, because now everything used to be super expensive. Now it's like super duper ridiculously expensive. Before it was $500 for the weekend. And then we'd have the soil to figure out what to do with it. It's heavy clay soil, so I would have to mix it heavily with compost if ever I want to use it. And then we would need to buy concrete or stones to make the walls to hold it, to hold the soil from not caving in. But after doing all of that, we would have a possibility of having a root cellar. So it would be nice. I would love to have an 8x8 or a 6x6 root cellar with cedar wood and shelves. It would be amazing. I would love to have that. I think my requirement, if ever we move, it would either be with an existing root cellar or a possibility of creating a root cellar like right from the first years, like the first year, second year. Or I would just try to find a old container and bury it. Or I saw this trick. Someone was burying an old freezer in the soil and would store their stuff there, and to make sure that there wouldn't be any snow, they just added the shelter logic over it, so they would have access to the freezer all winter long. It would not be plugged, but the carrots was there, the potatoes were there, there was apples, there was cabbages, and it was in bins. So they kind of dig around, and it was a bit hectic to go within the freezer, but I found the idea pretty nice. Fred wanted to do that, to dig up a hole for a freezer. I'm like, honey, you kind of forgot that we're in heavy clay soil, so I don't think you'd be able to dig a hole with your shovel deep enough for a old chest freezer. You probably would swear a couple of times before even getting to 2 feet deep. Okay, so I sewed this. What did I miss? Um, I'm thinking about me. Okay, so I read that. We have solid rock and clay here. We got a tri-axle dump truck load of triple mix for all our garden. That's nice. I think I got like 4, maybe 5 truckloads. So the first year I got 2, the second year I got 2. That's 4. And then I have half of one. No, I think I'm closer to 6. And last year I just bought a pallet or a half pallet of compost because my soil is like starting to be really good and established with the broad fork. But it is definitely an investment the first year to get that soil. Long-term storage is the biggest unsolved challenge we will have to face. Not sure how to tackle as we won't have a freezer. Learn how to can, dehydrate. My mom's 200-year-old stone house has a cold cellar in the basement all made up. That is so cool. We don't have stone. So our house was risen from the crawl space and they I think it's 5 feet, but then because of the studs, it's 4 feet. And they use concrete. So we no longer have stone foundation. But I did visit, like the first house we fell in love with was stone. And there was a root cellar. But there was so much work to do on that home. But it would have been a farmhouse, a farmland. It was 99,000 square feet. No, was it 50? No, it was 50,000 square feet. But surrounding cornfields. So I don't know if they used Roundup or not. And there was no well. For me to sign for my bank to approve that loan, I would have to have a invoice with a deposit for a well, or they would not lend me the money to buy the house. I need to do a video on my buddy's root cellar. It's concrete and dug into side of a hill. That's nice. We have 4 chest freezers between 2 houses and 3 smaller ones above the fridge. Be nice to have a backup in case the generators. Yeah. Backups are pretty. I have 1 generator on Fred's truck that has 4 plugs. If he's not home, I have a 2-plug generator in the backyard. We have to tune it up this year because we didn't use it last winter. Usually in my village, we would lose power like on a daily basis. It was ridiculous. Like it would be sunny in the middle of the winter, and we would lose electricity. And then in the summer, same thing. And I no longer do it, but I used to hatch out duck eggs and chicken eggs, and it was always losing power. So that was like an investment we did. But over the winter, we didn't really lose any power this year. You'll have power running to your properties. Are you talking to Thomas? We have 2 big off-grids camps. I did a video a while ago on one and showed the generator setup. Okay. Okay, so I'm sewing now Atomic Reds. I really like these. There is one red that I no longer have. It's called Dragon something. So the outer shell of the carrot is red purplish, and inside it has a different color. Those are fun. I no longer have those seeds, and I was trying to be frugal this year and not buy too many seeds. I know, it sounds crazy. I was very, very, very good this year. I didn't buy that much. I think there's like 3 more packs that I want to buy. One is because the germination of my butterfly peas were crap, and I wanted blue butterfly flowers this year for breads for teas and for my soaps to die. But for a reason, the germination was like disgusting, and I followed it to like perfect. We are 9 kilometers from the nearest hydro pole. Oh, oh la la. I remember in my younger years, me and Fred were looking into, one of my dreams was building my home. I wanted a timber frame house. And a friend of mine purchased land, got her kit delivered. So it's like a pre-made kit, and you either pay for them to set it up, or you set it up yourself to save money. And like I started asking her questions, and she said the biggest expense she had after like the build was the hydro posts. And that was like, so I've been married almost 12 years. That was prior to our marriage. So she said she had to pay a lot of money to get the poles from the street up till her cottage, because she built her house on the mountain. So she had to first get a road to her house. So the first step was to remove the trees to make the road, and then get rocks delivered and machinery to make that scenic route up to her house. And then once that was done, she had to pay for the hydro poles to get to her house. And she said that was pretty expensive. So 9 kilometers. That's a lot of posts. So I guess off-grid all the way for you. What I miss. If power goes out here, we have one big generator to run the well and the shop, all 220, then 2 smaller big ones for the house. Yeah, we're a little over 1 kilometer and have 18 poles, and they quoted us $17,000 a pole to replace. So we are probably running underground this summer. I have access to the equipment. Wow, $17,000 per post. That's a lot. She said at the time it was $1,000 per post. And I thought that was ridiculous. So 17,000, or is it a quote of 17,000? Or 1,700? Can you clarify, just to be sure, Thomas? So the quote that you got, the 17,000, was it per pole? Or is that total? 1,700? Oh, missed a spot here. Having the equipment helps life in the valley. We won't be getting power run to us. I don't ever want a hydro bill ever again. Hydro's expensive. I know in Ontario, Hydro won. When Fred used to live in Ontario, I saw his bill. That was before we got married. And I was like, holy crap, that's expensive. But now we have 2 types of energy. We have hydro and we have gas for heating. And one of my wish was to be off-grid for our ceiling lights, like everything that's on the ceiling. I wanted to have that on solar. But at the moment, it's not possible. We cracked our panel. I cried so much. He said that our panel for the chicken run So what we do in the winter, we don't use it in the winter because where it is, it's too dangerous to go up and clean it. So during the winter, we just cover it. But I think a tree fell on it and the top part cracked. So the top layer cracked a little bit. So we have to check if it still works, or we're going to have to switch it up this year. Oh, you answered. So 17,000, and it was a quote per pole. They're nuts. They're nuts. $17,000 for one pole. We have a full welding shop here, so we need the power. True. I was better this year, but still bought too many. So, I have now a food forest that is being established, and that created me a couple of raised beds that has young plants in them. So they're not going to take over this year. And last year, I just buried the pots. So some might not survive because I was not in a good place last year to decide where everything was going to be planted. So I buried the pots in the soil, in the ground. And at the moment, some of them survived, some of them died. But since the seedlings and the berry bushes are not going to be established, I think I'm going to use up every single seeds that are very old of the melon family, the squash family, summer squash. Maybe not summer squash. That takes a lot of space. But I'm going to utilize those beds this year to get rid. Well, rid is a rude word, but get rid of a lot of those older seeds so that I can stay with 2 bins of seeds. I don't want to go to 3 because I find 2 is a lot. Okay, so now I'm at Parisian carrots. I'm still waiting for tricks on carrots if anyone has some. So if you're watching this on replay and you have tricks for me for how to grow carrots, I'm all ears. So Parisian. We are on a set free now. Wait. We are on a set fee now at $800 a month. The smart meter messed up and we're getting, holy crap. The shop eats most of the power in 3-hour phases. Ooh, ouch. So gas here, we're still allowed at the moment to have gas because I know there are talking to remove the possibility of us to have gas in the house for heating and for cooking. I do hope I will never see this in this lifetime because I really love to heat the house with the gas. I would prefer wood, but the house was converted and there's no way for us to convert it back because the chimney was destroyed. So we would have to redo a chimney and that would be very expensive. And I don't think the city would let me. So this last year, we changed up all of the heating, electrical heating here. We're trying to use the ones, they're a little bit more expensive, but we're trying to use the ones that are like less costly so that we can bring down some of the cost. I know that we won't be able to not heat the house. The basement is heated at 12 degrees Celsius because I have jars now there and the pipes are there, so it cannot freeze. But maintaining the house at 12 makes the flooring comfortable in the morning. And this year I maintained the first level at 18 but we had a little hard time gauging the new system. So next winter we have to adapt that, because I was putting it at 18 and it was 20 in the house. So we're still trying to figure out if it's our thermometer that's off or if there's a problem with the heating elements. And I didn't use that much gas this winter. Well, we had a great winter. It was not that cold. So I'm almost halfway through sowing my carrot seeds. So I'm multitasking. I still can stay about 20 minutes. So if anyone's popping on, tell me tricks. Or what are you up to today? We can go with that. I am working on the next video after this that will come out on Thursday or Friday. I might change up the publishing date of my videos to Friday, because I find it's a little too stressful to have everything out for Thursday. So I might go back to Friday. But I'll let you guys know if I change that up. As long as you have some foundation up out of the ground. I don't think I have stainless steel. So the house was converted from copper to conventional piping. But outdoors, I don't know what he chose. He's the one that my husband takes care of all of that, the piping, and I'm trying to remember if he mentioned anything to me. But we only have one water leaving the house for the garden hose. We don't have more. We wanted to add more because I have this dream of next to the house having I'm just going to finish sowing these seeds and I'll show you the dreams that I have. I've been bugging my husband for that for a while. So next to the house, I wanted a cooking station for my pizza and, dropped a seed. A fire pit that I can cook in, and he won't burn any materials, just wood that we have in the back. But where's my phone? Okay, so I have this vision next to my house. I've been wanting this for years. Where did I put it? Can you see it? So I want to make like a pool that we can control the heat with like maybe like a little stove. But I don't know. We might have to do the pool first and then work on how to heat it. Okay, so what am I? So I'm doing scarlet now. I'm trying to ignore the white stuff floating down from the sky right now. Oh, it's snowing! Oh no! Oh no, it's 0 here. That sucks. It's plus 16 and sunny here today. What is my temperature today? So it's 6 right now, Celsius, feels like 3. And the highest it will be 12, but feels like 10. Hi, Marilyn. I didn't notice. Okay, guys, stop what you're doing right now and go do a thumbs up for me. Tell YouTube that you enjoy what I'm doing. Hey, look what I'm doing. Marilyn, I'm sowing seeds in those little blocks. I'm trying that experience again that I told you about. Sowing carrot seeds. You can always come mill lumber on our land. That would be nice, eh? That would be nice. There is, in some places, I've heard this a couple of times, that there are companies that if you have the wood, they have the equipment, they come to your house and they mill your wood to what you want. And it's a fee per hour. You seem to be remote, so I don't know if that would actually be a service offered, but I did hear a couple of people telling me this in Quebec, that there are a couple of companies that does that. So technically I can start sowing carrots on April 30th, but I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. I'm doing this because I don't want to thin, and I'm trying to find the best way to sow some carrots, eat fresh carrots, and like for it to be easy for me. So I'm trying to find an easy way. Okay, obviously I'm doing this while I'm talking. Technically, this probably could have taken me like 10, 15 minutes tops. And then transplanting will be a little time consuming, but there's not going to be any weeding. And the spacing will be accurate. Therefore, I'll be able to use, I don't know if I have a 2-inch weed remover. I think mine is 3-inch. But it would definitely be easier on me to have like perfect spacing. Weed management will probably be easier. I'm trying. Worst case scenario, I would have found a way not to grow carrots. And I'll add that to my list of stuff that I've learned. But it did work for me last year. I just didn't transplant it early enough. Hi, Karen. How are you? As promised, I sent prayers and healing to your dog yesterday. Ooh, you sowed your tomatoes. I wonder how many lawn keepers you sown. Do you want to share that? Do you want to share how many lawn keepers you sown? Always a pleasure. I didn't have much information because yesterday I asked you what part of the world you were from. Oh, sorry, Sunday. So I tried to send Reiki to your dog, but I needed a little bit more information. So I just send it with the information you gave me. And since my intention were pure, I'm sure your dog received what he needed. I hope he feels better. So I had like a picture of Buster, a Connecticut. I had a picture of Buster. I don't know why. A French bulldog, black with a bit of white. That's like the picture I had in my mind. I don't even know if it's accurate, but I'm sure it found its way. And I'm sowing carrot seeds this morning. Multitasking. Because I have so many things to do. I was saying, so I'm preparing for good morning. Okay, so I have to ask. So MTN, is that Mountain Grandma or Montana Grandma? I always wanted to ask. So the next videos that are coming out are going to be like part of a series. And it's because it's the journey that I'm going on. So I'm trying to change some of the bad habits that I have, and it takes time. So by changing one bad habit at a time, I thought I might not be the only one going through a difficult time. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to film it. So I have at least... Well, it's semi-related. So I know that I started doing meals in a jar, canning, but I wanted to find meals in a jar for when you're in a rush, when you're running out of the door, and you keep saying this. I'm hearing this. I'm hearing you. Some of you might feel this. Oh, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to eat when I come back, and neglect. So I do that. So I have this saying, everyone in my family, I make everything in my power for them to actually eat good. So my son, Philip, there's certain things that I don't want him to eat because it triggers ADHD for him. So there's certain foods that I prefer him not to eat. My husband has an intolerance to corn. So every derived sugar is corn-based or could be corn-based. If there's ingredients that I can't read, usually there's corn in it. And when it's thick, like a cream of something, the chances of being corn in it are very high. So I make sure when I buy prepackaged stuff, that there's not corn, or if there is corn, he eats it in smaller quantities. Because this weekend, Friday, it was, super sunny. He decided to go to Tim Hortons, and he had that iced cappuccino thingy full of sugar, full of crap, full of corn, and he was sick this weekend. So I make sure that Philip has everything he needs. I make sure that my husband has everything he needs. My daughter is like a bird. She eats ongoingly. So I make sure that there's protein in every little snacks that she has. My son Cedric, from the research I have made, when you have language issues, is because you have nutrient deficiencies and vitamin deficiencies. It could be the cause of. It's maybe not that. It could be just that. But from the reading I was doing, I make sure that his meals are high protein. There are certain ingredients that... Same thing of Philip, I put aside, so I make sure. But when it comes to me, I don't do it. So I would eat a toast with not much on it, and then not take care of myself. So now I'm trying to do that differently. So when I do meals in a jar, I either just heat it up. So I did a canning video about shredded taco. I did a pork version, a beef version. I heat that up sometimes, and I have leftover rice. I can do that. And the meals that I'll be doing in this week's video, it's super, super healthy. And all you have to do is either eat it just as is, add a bit of protein to it, or warm it up. So that's going to be this week's this week's video. I want to make sure that every little cube has a carrot seed. Oh, missed one. So it is mountain grandma. So, okay, so that was good. That was good. I had a feeling it was one or the other. So I'm missing two here. Did I miss another one? I don't think so. Ew, okay, so I have two more left. Yeah. I think of everyone. But there's something, I don't know if you ever taken the plane. So, you know, when that lady or gentleman like explains the security things on a plane, and they say if the mask comes down and you have a child, you're supposed to put the mask on yourself first and then put a mask on your child or the child that is with you. If there's a child next to you and you're not the parent and the parent is busy with so you have to do yourself first and then the child. That's like bugged me as I was growing up and I was taking the plane. I'm like, I never had children, but then I had the courage to ask the question to the flight attendant, why are we supposed to put the mask first and then assist our children? So the lady said something to me. Well, if you're dead, you can't help your kid. She's right. So if you're the adult, you're the one that needs to function. You're the one that's in survival mode in a period of stress like that, survival mode, and then you put yourself, and then you can assist your child. But when it comes to your daily life, you always put. I was brought up that way. Other families, if they're brought up differently, if you're thought to take care of yourself first and then take care of others, that's actually good, because I never learned how to take care of myself. And one of the reasons why I hit my burnout last year is because of that. So I was always recharging everyone's batteries or refilling their glass, but I was never pouring in mine. So I was always pouring from an empty glass or pouring or giving energy from an almost empty battery. And at one point, I just crashed. But when you do that, you crash not just a little bit, you crash a lot. So I'm trying to change that to, I'm going to think of myself first. If today I'm the better version of myself, tomorrow I'll be even better. But I'm actually teaching my kids that it's okay to think of yourself. If I'm healthy, if I'm happy as a person, as a woman, I will be a happier wife. I will be a happier mom. I will show the people around me that by taking care of myself, and then you can take care of others, everyone's going to have the better end. But I have to unprogram that. And I started with studying. I started doing Reiki. I started doing self-healing, meditation. I started being more present. So when I have like that mind that goes like today, my to-do list was so long. So instead of that, one of the reasons why I'm sowing seeds right now, I'm actually having fun chatting with you guys, and I'm actually sowing seeds. But after this, I'm going to take time to go outside to recharge my soul, but your battery, whatever you will call it. And then I'm going to tackle my list. But I'm only going to think of one item at a time, because if I go there and I go bloop, 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 I'm never going to do anything. I'm just going to spiral and end up not being productive. So, yellow carrots. It's hard to do, but easy to say. And meals in a jar, I've started doing that last week. Like, I'm always being very careful now of what I nourish my body with, because part of Reiki in my training, one of my teachers mentioned that healing has many aspects, and you can also heal your body with food, with whole food. But because I'm always on a rush, I would eat whole food. So I was eating great food, but I would never control the amount because I was always in a rush. So by doing those meals in a jar, I'm doing something stupid right now. So by doing those meals in a jar, I can control the quantity. So there's the quality of the food that you eat, but there's also the quantity. And that is my biggest struggle. And because I don't eat enough protein at night, I have a tendency of doing bad things. I have like a very, very, very big weakness. My weakness is chips. So I would scare a bag of chip on an evening that I didn't really eat well all day. I think it comes from finding time of peace, even if it's chores. Just the peace part is helpful as a mom because you tend to get interrupted. Yes, a lot when you're trying to do things which are stressful. Yes, I say this so often. I'm not busy. I'm not doing anything. I'm doom scrolling, or I'm just there, not doing much. Sitting down, thinking I'm relaxing when I'm doom scrolling. And then okay, and then I force myself, okay, this is not the best for me. Like this is not for my highest good. So I stop doom scrolling and I decide to read or educate myself, or I don't know, tackle a chore. Because I rather tackle a chore happy, stress-free, and enjoying, I don't know, like I did yesterday. Yesterday I shoveled some compost, but every couple of minutes I would just stop and look up and look at the sun and look at the leaves coming out and just like soaking in all that vitamin D and feeling amazing. And then tackle more compost. And then like, ooh, look at that. There's a lot of worms. And I was like, I felt like awesome that my garden will have all of those worms. But yet it was a chore. But it didn't feel like a chore. Like it felt a little less stressful. So all that to say that that's what I'm working on for Thursday. And it's just going to be the meal part. So since this is live, I kind of give you the reasoning behind all of that. But I did start a holistic channel to document my healing journey. So at first I didn't want to document it because, you know, I'm only like 6 months in. So November, a little over 6 months in, but I've learned so much and I wanted to journal my journey. Not to like how to, but to see the progress I'm doing. And mental health is so taboo, so not talked about. And when you say to someone that you're not doing great, well, they don't know what to do with you because they're probably dealing with so much they have no space to deal with just listening to you. So I decided to start an English holistic channel, which I just started publishing on, I think, 2 weeks ago. I'm due to publish soon, but it's like a vlog style. I'm just documenting my journey as my weeks go by, the changes that I'm doing. Have a great day, the changes that I'm doing in my life as a woman, and just documenting it. So if you're interested in that, the channel name is Back to Holistic Living. And it's a picture of me if you're looking for it. So it's just documenting, sharing some of the stuff that I'm doing. So the skincare that I've changed, like I went from not taking care, like taking care of my skin, and then financially had to sacrifice certain things, and then not taking care of my skin. Now to have higher quality without paying a fortune, I make my own. So I have a free hand, so this is what it's called. So back to holistic living. That's what it's called. And actually, this came to me, the name came to me in meditation. So I was working, I think, on my first attunement to Reiki or second attunement. So it's a 21-day practice, and you need to meditate for 21 days and then self-healing. And then I think it's attunement 2. And I was just meditating, and that phrase, back to holistic living, came to me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm scared, but I'm going to hang on to it. So I don't know the publishing schedule for that one. I don't know what I'll do with it. But I felt that sharing my journey would inspire maybe people that are going through the same thing, find peace, find a solution. Okay, so, but that was my peaceful time. It was more peaceful than sitting in front of the TV. Absolutely. I read that TV's maybe not so bad, but phones, tablets, the blue light stimulates your brain before you go to bed. And then yesterday I had that, like I was reading about my course that I'm going to be following soon at the end of the month of April. And I was reading about it because I didn't have time during the day. So I'm like, I'm just going to read. And then I got in that spiral of like, okay, so I'm going to read a little bit more. I have a little bit more time. And then my husband's like, I'm going to bed. So I went to bed. But then it took me like forever to actually fall asleep. Not because I was doom scrolling, but because I was watching blue light. And I ended up doing a hypnosis meditation, and then I did a guided meditation because my brain just wouldn't shut off. And sleep deprivation is not good. So doom scrolling is something I'm trying to stop before going to bed, and that is very hard. I meant then schedule for our businesses. Okay. Have a nice day, Desmond. Sure. When is the collaboration? I don't have my phone next to me, so when I find my phone, I don't know where to put my phone. I'll respond to you. So it's just one video? I filmed one with my daughter. So on my friend's channel, my daughter had a healthy snack that she needed to bake from being to scratch. So she was the chef. But I'm like, I have to share this. This is so cute. So I might just use up her same recipe. If it's just one. If it's more than one, I'll have to maybe find a couple of ideas. So it's in the month of May, I'm guessing. Okay, so May for me is like super, super busy. Beginning of May is not possible for me. So towards the end of the month of May, it would be perfect if that's what you're doing. And I would pick like Thursday or Friday because I'm thinking of publishing on Friday or Thursday. But I'll wait for your email. I try to shut down by 8. I've been finding it does. So there's actually something that I'm trying to do. So either meditation, guided meditation, that it comes with my courses, and it heals different traumas and all of that. Or I have a book that I read. I also have a tablet. I try to read. So if I shut off my phone around 8, I try to read a little bit, like half an hour, or listen to a guided meditation. Right now, I have with one of my courses that I'm doing, I have a 21-day challenge of 10 minutes meditation and 40 minutes of self-healing with Reiki. And I fall asleep during my self-treatment. It's so funny. I wake up, like, sometime it's like 11. I'm like, what am I doing on the couch? So it does help, like doing something else, self-healing, meditation, reading. It does help to fall asleep. And you feel much better the next morning. Yes, you pick a date, and if you want 2 days. Okay, I'll start with 1. Perfect. Let me see. I have my agenda next to me. 26 or 27. We're talking about, okay, so you said giveaway. Okay, so May. May. June. May. 9th, 24. I don't publish normally on those days. Do you have anything on 23rd, 24th, the 30th, or the 31st? Yeah. Really? I'm in May right now. For me, May is Sunday. So 23rd is a Thursday. 24th is the Friday. So do you have the 23rd or the 24th? Because 26th is a Sunday. So let me know, the 23rd or the 24th. And then I'll go read your email to finalize that. I still have one more bag of seeds, so I can still chat with you guys a little bit more. So I'm just waiting for you to confirm. I was okay. So May 23rd is available. Awesome. So can you give me the name? Did you give it to me earlier? So I'm just going to write healthy snack. And then I'll just complete with the email you sent me. Ooh, I wanted to start radishes this year early, because I think I can sow radishes April 30th, but I don't have raised beds that are ready with compost. I have raised beds that are ready with rabbit manure, and I prefer having really old, decomposed manure to sow radishes in them. Okay, so I need to see what I'm doing. So if I want to sow radishes, I'm going to have to prepare a bed with chicken manure or cow manure that I buy at the store. And we're due to, it's pay week this week. So I sent my husband, like, you have to go buy my pallet. It's either half a pallet or pallet of compost so that I can start planting my root vegetables in the soil. Because root vegetables, I try to have older manure because it's cold and there's no possible bacteria. So technically, rabbit manure is cold manure, but I always try to age it a little bit if I sow root vegetables. That's a precaution. There's people that will use rabbit manure for radishes, but I prefer, just to be safe, to let it age a little bit. So the beds that I've put rabbit manure in the fall, if I want to put radishes, turnips, then I'm fine with it because it aged all winter, and if there was any bacteria in it, it's all gone. So I'm doing one plug tray of 260 of carrots. But I'm chatting at the same time, so I'm trying. Okay, so I'll try to remember that, but it's probably written in your email. Ooh, nice. I'm really excited about it too. We're trying to get healthier also. I'm looking forward to all healthy snacks. I feel like those are the must healthy. I actually have an idea for 2. Because I'm trying in one of the recipes I'll be filming today. It's a healthier protein packed dessert, but it can also be a snack if you do it smaller. So I'm gonna have to choose between the one my daughter did or the one I'm gonna be trying today for those days that I crave some snacks. There is one, I think there is a channel called Mountain Men. Oh, you should see these things that autocorrect make me write sometimes. So I'm French. I speak in French to some of my friends. Some of my friends I speak in English. Some of my friends I speak franglais, which is a mix of both, like slang. So my autocorrect does not know what to do with me. So sometimes I have to, even though I reread myself, I say weird stuff. Really weird stuff. Okay, I'm almost done. I had no tips on growing carrots, so I'm going to hope that people that are rewatching this on the replay will give me some ideas. So when I want to say a bad word, sometimes it converts it to duck. You probably will know what I'm talking about. When I'm having a moment where saying fudge doesn't work. So you have to say the bad word, but then it corrects you to duck. There's another one. This week I was talking to Annie from Mama Homemade, and she's like, "What are you saying?" I'm like, and then I reread myself. I was like, "Oh my god." I've been making my own. I haven't tried granola. So there is one that I found that I wanted to try to do, and it's with sourdough discard. I did it, and it was fun, but I wasn't able to eat it all. Oh, I'm done sowing carrots. Look at that, Toad. 2 seeds per, and there's 260 little mini soil blockers. Look at that. All of my carrots are in here. All I have to do is add a little bit of soil and pack it down a little bit and make sure that it's always somewhat wet. if you're doing this way, if you're sowing seeds and you have the mini soil blockers, like 3/4 inch, these things dry up fast. And carrots need moisture to sprout. So I'm going to have to keep an extra careful eye on that precious tray. I found one brand at Costco that I really, really enjoy, and the ingredients are not so bad. I did banana muffins yesterday, but I would not call them healthy. I keep it in a large mason jar in the counter. Awesome. So I just found this. This is something else I do. So when I have a hard time relaxing, my teacher sent me with one of my manuals a relax blend. So, when I'm having a moment, I just and close my eyes, set an intention to relax, and just breathe in, breathe out 10 times, and I feel much better. Well, I have to go. I have to film that special meal for you guys, because this afternoon I'm going an appointment at the bank. Thank you. So I have 2 meals and 1 surprise. So that's going to be either Thursday or Friday. So I'm still hesitant. I said this earlier. I don't know if you guys were there. Thursday or Friday. So I find that with my new level of behind the scene in community tab, I have one more level on my membership. So before it was 99 cents and you had behind the scenes announcements, and I would say that I'm working on this. I've added one more level, which is early access content, which is $2.99 a month. I activated that this week. So for me to publish on Thursday, I want those that are paying for earlier access have that on Wednesday. But that is a little too crunched up for me, and I don't want to do the same mistakes I did last year. So by having that early content probably Thursday, it's going to give me a little bit more time. So I'm probably going to end up switching it to Friday, 3 p.m. probably, or Friday morning. I have to figure that out when you guys are more present on YouTube. Have a great day. Yeah. So either Thursday or Friday. I'll maybe do a community post about it and refresh everyone's memory that I'm going from Thursday to Friday. Well, everyone, hope you have a fantastic day, and I will chat with you guys on Sunday. Take care, everyone. Bye.